Today I will be presenting my findings that I have found in Tableau. This is data from a spreadsheet containing information about movies, and I decided to get a little more specific on finding information on originality of movies. I have four visuals here titled Originality versus Box Office Individually, Originality versus Box Office Averages, Date Based, and Max Screens. The originality versus box office individual graph, if I can pull it up here, it shows each individual movie, its gross box office totals, and the left column is movies that are not original, and the right column is movies that are original. The left column obviously has a lot more outliers, as you can see, and outliers being ones that are a bit higher up, made higher gross box office totals. They took in more money overall. So that seemed to be a pretty obvious trend to me from this graph, that movies that aren't originals tend to make more money in the box office. Here in this graph, it's the average gross box office based on whether the film was an original film or not. The left column being over twice, almost three times as much in average gross box office. So it took in quite a lot more money per movie. So even further evidence to show that movies that aren't original do better in the box office. So back to the dashboard, we also have the date-based chart. So the trend that I saw here in this year was represented by this line. It shows that it has a negative slope, though it's not quite large. So that means the movie industry as a whole, specifically in the theaters, is decreasing a little bit every year, but also that each year has about one breakout movie, maybe two. And by breakout, I mean over about 500 million in gross box office. So the tip that I can tell movie producers from this graph is don't release your movie in a year where you see a really strong contender as to who can take in more money from ticket sales than you. And back to the dashboard, we have the max screens graph. So the original film trend line has a higher slope than the original film trend line has a lower slope than the non-original trend line, meaning that the average tends to increase a bit faster with movies that aren't original than those that are. So once again, that combined with a lot of the outliers based on their max number of screenings compared to their gross box office show a further reason to make a movie that isn't original. And so I hope that these findings can be helpful to future movie producers when they are thinking about what kind of movie to make and when to release it and things of that nature.